You may start, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, in life, we make all sorts of decisions. From small decisions like what kind of breakfast I should enjoy this morning, to big decisions like should I invest in this company or should I marry this guy. Here are all decisions that we will take in life. But we are humans. There must be some flaws that we make, and there are incorrect decisions that we unfortunately will take into considerations. And so today, we will look at the case of Gravity Payments, in which the CEO, Dan Price, is introducing a strategy that he pretty much regretted. But today, once in a lifetime, we have the opportunity to take a time machine back and to see what kind of strategies that he could have better implemented in order to improve the overall company performance. We're Team HKU, and I'm Avis. This is Ambrose, Kiki, and Ashley there. And we're very honored to be here today to interview us all. So before we begin, let's look at the current situation review of what kind of incorrect decision the company has made that the CEO has regretted. So basically, the CEO has introduced a minimum wage of $70K to all of his staff. And this minimum wage resulted in over 120 employees got a raise in the salary, and 30 employees doubled their salaries. So a lot of junior staff actually got a pay rise where the senior staff may not have the privilege to do so. From what we look at from the Maslow hierarchy of needs, we see that the increase in minimum wage may only be the lowest rank. The increase in salary may only fulfill the physiological need of employees, but not the other needs. And therefore, we see that the other needs can be fulfilled by implementing other strategies, for example, welfare. And these kind of needs, such as self-actualization, self-esteem, social and security needs, will be better fulfilled in our other strategies, which we will talk about later on. But although this policy only affects employees, but it has a larger impact than that. We see that overall, employees were affected not only because they got an increase in wage. We see that their motivation were affected, and also the motivation is not only positive. It also resulted in negative impact in the sense that some senior staff may not be that satisfactory with the new policy. But from a company perspective, it also results in very important consequence in that it resulted in a huge publicity for the company, but at the same time, it decreased the cash flow for the company, which limits its prospects to invest in better long-term strategies in the future. And for customer, since Gravity Payment is a credit card processing company, and therefore it relies on the small businesses, and it wants to bridge the small businesses to the big credit card companies, and therefore the stability of the company is very important. And this huge, important, and influential policy will definitely undermine the stability of the company, which decreased the customers' willingness to engage in this company. Although initially, in the first month, there were a 75% increase in customer. But in the long run, this may not be the fact. And lastly, for shareholders, shareholders will be very concerned with how the profit will be going. And therefore, the use of profit of increasing the minimum wage will undermine their interest. And therefore, the questions that we should focus on today is for employees firstly, with how we can actually motivate employees and to improve the income equality among the employees. And for companies, it is how to improve image and also the profits of the company as a whole. For customer, it is how to attract and retain customers. And then for shareholder, it is how to protect the shareholders' interests better. And to summarize all these questions from different stakeholders, we see that we have a key question today, that is how we can actually improve the corporate governance and profits sustainably for the company in the long run. So in order to answer this question, we will focus on these different shareholders, and we have developed the strategies called distribute and develop. Distributing means that we need to distribute profits in an appropriate way that can enhance corporate governance, And for develop, it means that we have to develop stable partnerships and customer relationships that can actually increase companies' profit in the long run. So these will be the two directions that we will focus on, and my teammates will further elaborate on that.
Okay, thank you, Avis. And now I'm going to talk about the first strategy, which is distribute. Before I talked about the distribute strategy, let's see what kind of problems we are going to face. The first one is fairness, second one expansion, and third one is talent retention and acquisition. Why do these problems occur? Why the current wage system will cause these problems? First of all, in terms of fairness, we can see that for the junior level employees in this company, in Gravity, they actually have a minimum wage of $70K, while the minimum wage in Seattle is only $31K per year. So actually, all junior people, they have their wage either increased or doubled. But for the senior people, there's no improvement in their strategy. So from the psychology of the senior people, they will think, I take more responsibilities, I do more things. Why do I deserve more wages? So that makes them feel very unfair, and at the same time, they don't feel motivated. They don't want to work in this company anymore. And for the expansion part, the company is actually still in its growth period, and it's want to expand its company to different branches, to different customers, attract new customers. But it feels like, the current wage system is implemented in 2014, but at the end of 2014, the company see that it do not have enough equity value. The company value has been decreasing due to the large increase of wages. So it doesn't have money to expand. So that's one of the core problems that we are facing. And for third one, talent retention and acquisition. The company is facing a very serious problem. The senior managers of the company, they want to leave. They don't feel motivated. They cannot see the future in this company. And for the talents outside this company, they don't want to come because they know there won't be huge wages for us, and they cannot see a very positive career prospects for them. So these three problems are the main problems that we are facing, and our company strategy is going to address this problem. And this is the overview of how our company strategy, distribute strategy, is going to address all of these problems. First of all, is to increase the fairness between both junior levels and senior levels. And second one is to create more company value and equity for further expansion. And third one is to increase the wage and also welfare to make the senior people and also talents feel that I can have a promising future in this company. So here comes our strategy. Instead of retaining the old current wage system that is increasing the junior level strategy by a large amount, we propose that we can replace it with a basic salary plus bonus. So we can make it fair between all people, all employees in this company. First of all, in the current wage, and the current universal minimum wage in Seattle is $31K US per year. So we want to ensure basic salary for all employees to make sure that they have they can meet their basic living needs, and at the same time they have a job security in our company. So we want to raise it to US $45, but replace it with the previous $71K in the previous wage payment system, so we can offer them a sense of job security to people. And at the same time, to increase the motivation of our workers, we want to increase the bonus system to all the employees, which the bonus is distributed in terms of performance indicator, which is provided by customers and our own colleagues, both in the front office and the back office. And here comes the detail of our strategy. So where our bonus come from? Like, we don't create money from nowhere. So actually, it is the profit distribution of our company. Previously, on the current wage system, we estimated that 60 to 60% of the company's profits go to all the employees. So actually, under the minimum 70K per year, but under the new wage distribution strategy, we estimate that only 35 to 40% of the company's profits can ensure the basic salary of all the employees, and also 20% of the bonus 20% of profit will be provided as a bonus to all the employees. And for the how does the bonus gonna be distributed? For the front office, as I mentioned before, we're gonna distribute the bonus in terms of according to a performance indicator, which is provided by the evaluation of our customers and also our employees. First of all, for the front office, we hope that our clients, our small business clients, they can offer us an instant feedback questionnaire. They can fill us this questionnaire to tell us how do they feel about this one-to-one, face-to-face client relationship that they receive. And at the same time, for the back office, we hope that as long as our clients, they log onto our account, they can fill in a questionnaire to talk more about their feeling about our company. So that's how we measure. About a questionnaire, we want to, for the back office, we want supervisors to evaluate the employees' working attitude and enthusiasm. And we also have peer evaluation to evaluate the teamwork and how seniors are guiding those people. So that's the profit sharing scheme. That's the key summary of our profit sharing scheme. So that's the impacts of this scheme. So we hope that it's going to be effective.
Yes. After talking about a monetary rewards that our company can give to our employees, we would like to talk about the non-monetary part, which take care of their security, social esteem, and actualization needs. So first of all, we think that it is very important for the employees to feel that they are secure, feel the sense of security in working for this company. Therefore, we think that we should constitute long-term working contracts with them so that they feel that their jobs are secure. And also, we want to demonstrate that they have a clear career path if they work in our company. And afterwards, we want to show that our company is a company with promising futures. So we want to demonstrate a long-term development plan, for example, a clear five-year plan to our employees, so that they will feel that our companies work for their contributions. And afterward, we want to take care of their social needs as well. It is very important for us to maintain a good relationship between junior and seniors. What can we do? For example, we can organize certain kinds of bonding events like outing and different kinds of team building workshops, so that the juniors and seniors can work together and create a better working atmosphere inside our company. And also, we want to make sure that our employees feel that we not only care about their working performance, but also their life plans, but also their emotions, like their habits, their interests. So we want to, for example, our HR department can give certain kinds of consultation and advice to them and organize those activities that is fit for the habits and interests of our staff, so that the staff feel that our company is not only caring about their works, but also their other parts of their life. And afterwards, we would like to talk about esteem needs. It is very important that the staff's, their performance, their works are being recognized by our own company. And it's very important that the staff feel that their values are, their opinions are valued by the company, and they are the most important asset of our company. So that we suggest we can have different kinds of awards for those best employers. We can have different kinds of competition inside our company, like they can give us the opinions how to improve the overall efficiency of the whole company, and the winner will get certain kinds of rewards, so that it shows us that we do value those employees' opinions. And afterwards, we want to promote our company as a place for growth for employees, which is we want to enhance their career path, want to enhance their career development. We want to provide different kinds of opportunities to our employees, but not only for money. For example, we can offer more job rotation opportunities for the new staff, for them to gain exposure of different kinds of departments, and also we allow them to attend advanced training courses, no matter it's outside or inside. Our company can provide different kinds of subsidies to them. And afterward, other part is about the employees' motivation improvement, and we want to talk about how we can improve the company revenue. How are we going to do is by two parts. We want to establish a better customer relationship management to stand out from the intensive competition, and we want to form a partnership with our customers, like those small business, to enhance the cost efficiency of the whole company. And how we are going to do that is, first of all, we want to making good use of our company as a middleman, because our main clients is also those small business. So it's very difficult for them to gather different kinds of sales informations. Then we take out the rules, we take out the roles, we be the middleman and process different kinds of data internally and externally. And then we process those data with, for example, different kinds of market trends, so that we can provide extra services. Because the small business may not have the financial strength to do that. And our company, as a middleman, gathering information from a lot of different small business, we can gather those market information and provide them with extra services so that we can enhance the customer satisfaction and develop long-term relationship. And afterwards, it's talking about how we are going to do the partnership. So this partnership part is we want to form a long-term contracts with those small business because it's a very intensive market. And if they can form a long-term contracts with us, we're allowed to offer certain kinds of commission reductions because we charge a commissions charging between the small business and the banks. So if they can sign long-term contracts with us, and then we can allow them to have certain kinds of commission rebates, so as to maintain good relationship with our business.
So thank you, Kiki. So here is our strategy, develop and also distribute. The first distribute is the wage distribution. We have a new wage system and also a new welfare system. And for the development part, we have a new CSR, meaning that we have a customer relation management, a new customer services for them, and also we got a partnership. We have to like to partner up with small companies. And I would like to talk about more about the implementation issue. We have come up with a 5-year plan because this two strategy is kind of a new thing to this company, and we'd like to construct a 5-year plan for them. For the new wage system, in the first year, we have to finalize the system, meaning that we have to come up with a percentage that what kind of percentage should a company should share as bonuses. And after, we have a 4-year implementation part that we have to implement this kind of new wage. And the last year, we have to evaluate, meaning that maybe you have to change the percentage of profit that should be distributed to the employee, or whether employee have to have different distribution or evaluation system that we have to evaluate or amend. And for the new welfare system, since it is more simple than the wage system, we'd like to continuously using the 5-year to implement the welfare. And also for the CRM, this is the developed part. This is a little bit complicated. We'd like to, in the first year, we have to analyze the customers because we are providing with business plans. We're providing with different trends to them for them to think of whether they have to increase the number of service that we provide them or whether they have to change their business plan accordingly with our suggestions. And as a result, in the latter 4 years, we'd like to implement, we'd like to recruit more customers. We estimate that we have around 10 to 20 customers that would like to join this scheme, and we'd like to provide customers relationship services to this kind of customers. And the last one is the partnership one. In the first year, we'd like to seek for potential partners. We estimate that maybe we have to like 10 to 50 partners, which is more companies. And with this, with the last 4 years, we'd like to sign agreements and terms with them, meaning that we have to come up with what we are going to provide with them, what kind of lower commission are we going to provide with them, or what kind of contracts, what duration of contracts that we are providing. And actually there are some risk, but we've come up with some mitigation. The first one is the wage. Perhaps our company might suffer losses. What happens so? Maybe we have to leverage financial instruments to hedge the risk. We have to secure our risk, and perhaps when there are losses, we have to utilize financial instruments to hedge the risk and so as to lower the damage to our company. And the second risk is actually related to the CRM. The manpower required for the CRM department increases because we're providing more customer services, more tailor-made services for customers, and as a result, the human resources department will have to allocate more manpower, perhaps from the financial department or different kinds of department, but at the same time, we might have to hire more manpower for this part. And the last one, partnership. Perhaps more companies maybe do not want to partner with us. What should we do? We have to increase our marketing budget because we have to increase our publicity. We have to tell them, we have to send out manpower to them to convince them that it is profitable for them to join our scheme. And so this will be a marketing strategy that we'd like to solve and mitigate this kind of risk. And we'd like to pass to Ava to wrap up our presentation.
So in conclusion, we see that our two main objectives, which is to distribute the profit in an appropriate that can enhance corporate governance through the development of a good profit sharing scheme, as well as the implementation of some welfare planning for employees, and as well as another objective of developing a stable relationship and partnerships and customer relationship that can increase the profits would definitely guarantee that our company is going to perform well in the long run. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, if you can actually go to the time machine with us and go at that time, use our strategies and make the right directions. Thank you.
Very well. I'll set the timer for the Q&A.
Well done.
Sorry. Sorry, logistics. 15 minutes for the Q&A. Yeah. Sorry. You may start, Kevin.
Well done, everyone. I think that was a very good presentation. I just had a couple of questions, but the first question, if I can ask you, Avis, the very first sentence you said was, Dan regretted this decision. Can you just articulate clearly why you think, what were the reasons that you said those things?
Because at the end of the day, he think that he wanted to enjoy much of, because initially the increase in the salary came from his own pockets, meaning that he has to use his own money and he has to give up his luxury lifestyle, which was mentioned in the last paragraph of the case, that he pretty much wanted to enjoy this life all over again. And he think that the company is suffering from not too stable financial situation, and therefore this is a not too good decision that has taken. And therefore he wanted to see if there are actually better alternatives to this decision that he was making. And therefore, to summarize, we think that he regretted this decision and think that if there is a possibility that can be a better decision, then he would definitely go for it.
Can I elaborate a little bit more? Because actually, Dan Price, he wants to create a positive motivation for all his employees, say increase the wage level, so then they can work harder, they can have better loyalty for the company. But actually, this motivation causes a lot of side effects. For example, internally, the problem do not have enough equity to expand, and also the senior people, they don't want to come, they want to leave, and talents, they don't want to come. And also the competitors, they're also facing a lot of pressure. And after this news comes out, Dan Price himself, the CEO himself, he faced a lot of publicity pressure, a lot of media pressure, and pressure from the competitors and also from the customers. So initially he wants to create something good, but at the same time it brings a lot of bad things. So that's why he regretted it.
Okay, thanks.
Other questions? Firstly, I would say well done. I can tell there were some nerves there. You worked through it, so well done. You did a really good job. I was thinking about this case, and I looked at it as him trying to achieve two things. One was making a statement, and I think he wanted the publicity, and he got that. But the second area was around trying to instill more equality in the organisation. Now, you guys put some good ideas as to some alternatives, but when I was listening to you, I did feel that with your strategy, you would have lost the impact, because it felt very incremental rather than big bang. When you were thinking through this, did you think about any alternatives that you could maintain an element of big bang and making a statement? Did you think about any alternatives which you didn't talk about today, perhaps, as you were thinking through?
Yes, we definitely thought of different alternatives, and then by deduction, we think that this is the best strategies. And for the other alternatives, for example, the publicity effect part, we think that at the end of the day, a company wants to increase the publicity is only because it wants to increase its revenue at the end. And therefore, we hope that we can improve our revenue through our ideas of improving services and also establishing partnerships. The reason why, when we're thinking, we actually create a logic tree, and this is the service part. But for the quantitative part, we also develop the price, whether we can actually cut cost, or whether we can actually increase the price for our services. But we think that it is very hard because in this industry, it only has a very tight margin, and it is pretty price sensitive. And therefore, for this quantitative part, it is hard for us to achieve such in this strategies part. So we developed the services part. And then for the other part, for how he wanted to achieve income equality, we believe that income inequality, of course, it is a very great idea. But then at the end of the day, it also depends very much on employees' happiness. of whether or not they're satisfied with the current situation of the salary that they're receiving. And therefore, we believe that one, we want to motivate them, and secondly, we want them to be happy. And therefore, under the profit sharing scheme that we are advocating right now, we think that we can already achieve these two. And therefore, the income equality part may not be the priority in our case presentation today when we are looking at the overall big picture of the company.
Okay.
Can I ask a question for a specific?
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay, all right. So, Lin Xin, right? Yeah. I noticed that because there's a limited financial information in the paper. Okay. So for the business case and the strategy, usually for the company, they're looking for is the numbers. Okay. You have all the improvements or the strategies, but I want to explain to you if you have sufficient information for the numbers. So what you're going to do the financial analysis for this case. I know you don't have to mention the number. You tell me, financial, what will cost, revenue, all those. So it's a financial analysis. I want to understand, do you have such skills to do that?
Actually, we have thought of the financial analysis using an annual statement of the company, or thinking what kind of expenditure that a company would need to have when they are closing their statements, including cash bonuses, which is one of our strategy, and also capital investment and non-cash welfare, and the last one is dividend. And in this case, we have to increase for the financial analysis part, we have to increase the cash bonuses part. The percentage of cash bonuses increases, as mentioned by Ashley. And as for the financial instruments that have to secure our own risk, this will be the capital investment. And whenever we have to analyze if this part have to increase or not, we have to depend on the profit. If the profit we end up with the loss, we have to increase the part of capital investment. With a normal situation, meaning that the company remains profitable, we like to stay that part remain the same percentage, and this will be the financial analysis for a same percentage on the financial investment. Yet we have to accumulate more capital for investment on financial instruments, so as to secure that what happens when the company suffers losses. And when in 1 year, for example, at the year of 2017, if the company suffers losses, such accumulation of capital in the previous 5 years, because the 5-year plans are kind of a accumulation of capital for the mitigation of risk of a suffer losses. And this is why we cannot do a broad or comprehensive financial analysis. But our 5-year plan will have to accumulate enough capital in order to secure the risk of suffering losses.
Can I add a little bit more to this question? Actually, I think besides what he said, we will also focus more on the company's equity. Actually, this current payment system is actually affecting the company's strength, its company's own nature. It actually has around 22 million US dollars of equity, and before the strategy, the current wage system is implemented in April 2014, and until 2014 December, that's 8 months, actually its equity is being decreasing very drastically. So we will see how our own strategy, the decreased basic salary, can increase the company's equity, and at the same time, under the bonus system, increasing the employers' motivation, how they can create more profits for the company, and how this is gonna overall increase our company's equity and to pave the road for further expansion of the company in different locations.
I have another question. Okay. My understanding from the whole presentation, you will make changes on Dan Price's plan, which is lower the salary and pay the bonus, right? If we lower the salary, have you guys think about it at the reality, the work? The salary is distributed by the experience, by the levels, by this. So why you still keep that minimum wage salary? You are not developing something, or back to just, if we notice that's not working, just back to the normal. why you just still stick with the minimum salary, that concept, than building the bonus on top of it? Why I want to understand that.
Thank you for your question. So basically why we wanted to keep the minimum wage is because we think that it is very important for one company to differentiate from another, to show that it is a company that is socially responsible. And on one hand, because on the employee side, we want not only to retain the employees, but also to attract the employees. And how we can do that is partially it is by increasing the basic salary and with the bonus, and secondly it is by the welfare that we're providing. And why we're thinking setting a minimum would be a great idea, because it clearly illustrates to all members of the public that our employees at our company at least enjoying a certain standard of living by the salary that we provide. So we think that this minimum wage idea is not bad inherently in itself. It's just that the bar was set too high by Dan Price in his strategies that will actually affect the company financial position in the long run. And therefore we think that by lowering the basic salary and adding the bonus part, it can enhance the motivation effect that he intended to do so, while attracting new employees that will view the whole company as a socially responsible company.
May I do a little bit add on this? Because we think that money is very important for employees, right? But it's really important for have a basic salary to maintain the job security that the employees feel towards their jobs. Because without basic salaries, we think that although it can of course give a high motivation to staff, because all the salaries come from all those bonus, commissions. But however, from the terms, if you see from the perspective from the employees, if they don't have the basic salary, they will maybe have very hectic, like they have to worry about their basic livings. So I think it is very important for us to incorporate. So the basic salary ideas is still very important from the employees aspect. And we want to treat our company not only like for exploit those workers. We want to treat our company as a caring company that we do care about what the employees, their basic needs. We want to show that we do care about their daily lives, not only for their working performance only. Yeah, I think it's really important.
So, just to be clear, so you said that you are implementing a minimum wage, it's salary, but it's lower than the 70,000.
Yeah. Yes.
What are I think the other issue I read about, well, my take on it was you had this middle management issue that you beefed these people up.
Yeah.
And you got top management. So what was your it wasn't crazy. What was your proposal for those guys? Were you gonna have keep them the same minimum wage, or were you going to do something to do some adjustments there? How are you going to keep them going?
First of all, we will, because of the profit sharing scheme, we will base on the performance, which we mentioned just now, according to the performance-based indicators, to have a proportion of, so like their bonus will depend on the performance, but how to bridge the gap between the middle management and also junior management regarding the increasingly in proportion salary. We think that it's very important to tell them that firstly, much of the job is based on your performance, so it is the performance-based indicator. And secondly, we will tell them that such equality is pretty important. Like we think that the junior staff have worked really hard, and we think that it's very important for them to enjoy the basic living standard. This is what we think is the basic part. So we hope that we can indoctrinate such idea into the middle management. And at the same time, we will tell them that this is for our long-term benefits. And there will also be other welfare that accompany this profit sharing scheme that will be going on.
To add on, actually our minimum wage system is for all the people. As long as you get into our company, you will enjoy this minimum wage. But actually we still have those kind of ranking at different levels of wages for different people on the level.
So
we retain that. Yeah, we retain
So
that.
the bonuses.
Yeah. So that's still, I think it's still going to be fair for different people on different levels.
My second question, it's still not clear to me, and maybe you can just expand. What other financial alternatives did you consider aside from just the profit sharing arrangement? I mean, there's many other opportunities you could.
Actually, we have come up with different the logic tree, meaning that we can provide with only basic salary, or provide with basic salary and additional stuff. And for the basic salary, we can decide on remain the amount or increase the load. But actually, when we raise all the base salary, it will be a financial burden to us. And if we lower the basic salary, this cannot lead to a motivational effort. And as a result, by elimination, we have decided to provide with basic salary and additional subs. And what kind of additional subs is confuses us a lot as well. And perhaps we have to think about how the company should distribute. And as a result, actually I've mentioned about what kind of proportion that company are providing. And also, how do employees receive the bonuses? And as a result, we have provided with the performance indicator, meaning that in front office and back office, there are different indicators for them for sharing the bonuses. And we think that by elimination, basic salary plus additional stuff with bonuses is the best part for the motivating our staffs while retaining talents, or actually attracting more customers and also employees to join our company, because we are caring companies and this will be the most profitable solution without suffering financial loss or financial burden.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.